Healing isn't just one thing that fixes you, and it doesn't happen quickly. It's a lot of things over a long period of time. Some that work and some that don't, until it just kind of clicks. Welcome to another edition of Weathering It. I'm Warren Dean. In the first couple of episodes, we've covered some heavy subject matter. In this episode, I'm going to break it down to 3 parts. We're going to talk about the things that I've done over the years and tried, some that have worked and some that haven't, to get me to where I'm at today. A healthier, happier version of myself. I also want to say thank you to those of you who have been leaving comments. Do that in the comment section. That's always awesome. Or reach out via email, weatheringit365@gmail.com. Laura reached out and told me about her story, which was fantastic. And now that she's healed and better off, she has a couple of book recommendations. Those are coming up at the end of the episode. And I was able to connect with an old childhood friend from my hometown of Glasson, Saskatchewan, Joanna. When we grew up, it was Joey. She'll always be Joey to me. And that was great as well. And that's what this series is all about. Connecting, helping each other through, sharing stories, offering advice, or getting advice from me if I have it for you. And if we've ever crossed paths in our lives, please feel free to reach out at the email, weatheringit365@gmail.com, or in the comment section. All right, how did we get here? What can we do? What does it take? It's all coming up in this episode. If you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of therapy. I think it's huge. I think it's important. But I also think you have to do it right. And you have to find what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. What works for somebody else may not work for me. I started therapy years and years ago. I was going through just a rough patch. And I needed somebody. Nobody seemed to understand, or friends just weren't really getting it. So I went to somebody. It was a great experience, and it really opened me up to more of it. And I've gone sporadically when I need it. When I'm going through a rough time, I got to a certain spot. If I get stuck and I can't get through it by myself, I reach out and find somebody that can help me. I have a great therapist that really helped me through this last phase, so I really appreciate her. But I've gone to the wrong one as well. I went to a fellow one day, or a couple of times, and he talked more than I did, and he didn't listen. And I'd leave there not really feeling any better, feeling any relieved, or getting any tools to help. So I knew after the second or third session, it was time to put that one aside and move on. And feel free to do that. Find somebody that you connect with and find somebody that really helps you. Something I also did, and during my last relationship, psilocybin. So magic mushrooms. Yep. Magic mushroom therapy. Was amazing. My ex did it to help her with her alcoholism, because it is the 7th step. There's a wonderful documentary on Netflix called Changing Your Mind, which is all about it. They use it a lot for end-of-life treatment and getting over PTSD, and alcoholism and addiction as well. So she did it, and then I wanted to experience it. And man, was it an experience. But in a controlled environment, right? When you hear about bad trips and stuff like that, sometimes because you're going through things, they're coming out, and you don't have the right people around you to help. Mine was amazing. You know what? Let's share a little bit of that. So I just laughed. I laughed a lot. These are my notes. So my therapist, it was her and her assistant. I was in a yurt out in nature. I left the bed, went outside for a little while, but when I was laughing, I laughed for about a half an hour. And it was because, to let you know what I was going through, mine was very nature heavy, and I was in this big valley of vast colors of just these plants and rivers and mountains, and kind of like how it is here on Vancouver Island. But there were these little creatures, and when I laughed, they laughed and got bigger and brighter, and their eyes woke up. And the more they laughed, the more I laughed, and vice versa. It just kept going back and forth, and it was amazing. But I went through a lot of stuff. Some of it was really, really hard as well. I hit a spot where it was really tough stuff and a little bit scary. And they were able to help me through that and walk me through and talk me through it. And my therapist made all these notes. And I keep these notes with me, and I'll refer to them every now and again. It was such an amazing experience, and I really appreciated it. And it's, you know, there'll be times where I'll refer to something that I went through within that therapy to help me through today. And it was a few years ago now that I did that, but it was awesome. I saw my uncle, who I was really close with, and we were both big fans of comedy, and I lost him a couple years ago, and got to say goodbye and have a moment. I got to see my other dog, Dexter, and he turned into this huge, really armored warrior, and he went and sat on a mountain ledge and overlooked everything. It was just a great experience. So not everybody has positive experience with it. I've had friends where it didn't work out well, but for me, it was amazing and it was worth a try. And you know, something that therapy does is it allows you to crack yourself open a little bit more. And that really did it. And then this last round, my therapist, she had experience with a partner who had addiction as well. And that really helped me connect with her and made it a better relationship in order to heal and get the things out that I needed to. Plus, she understood, and it was a really good experience with her. And I will, when I need her, always go back to her because it was just such a wonderful, positive experience with her. But what it does also is it allows you to be able to sit with your emotions, right? Sometimes you have to sit with them and let them happen. I think with men especially, we're taught not to feel so much, right? Only feel a few things, you know, happy and angry. But there's other things in there, and you gotta wonder why sometimes you're angry or why you're happy. And you gotta sit with that. So whether it's anger or sadness, resentment, loss, anxiety, I was able to sit with that. I did some meditation. That was helpful. I don't do it as much as I should, but I did a lot of that coming out of the job loss and the relationship loss. I also went to the ocean and sat in my Jeep and screamed at the top of my lungs at the ocean inside my vehicle. Because sometimes that helps too. You just need to scream and get it out. You sit with your emotions, you feel it. If you're having an anxiety attack, have an anxiety attack. If you need somebody, reach out. Just let it all happen so that you can move forward. Obviously, when you're going through a lot of things, you don't have to do it alone. And I didn't. There was times where I needed to be alone, and I wanted to be alone, and I was allowed to be alone. But sometimes I needed my network of people. And I have a great network. It's a small network, but it's a strong network. And I love all of them for always being there for me. My best friend of 30 years, Brent, always open to go for a coffee and listen to me just go blah. And we just listen. My buddy Chris in Calgary. And men are funny, right? When you're close with another guy, you know when something's up, you know when each other is struggling or going through some stuff, but a lot of times what we do is we'll talk this much about it and then we'll make a joke and move on and sometimes that's great and sometimes that's all you need. But a lot of times I needed more, and these friends allowed me to do that. One of my newer friends that I got really close to, Mark here, and my old friend Brian, which was different. Brian and I have been close for years. We stayed in touch. We stayed in touch through social media. Phone every now and again, but mostly social media. And I took a break from social media. I needed it. It was too much and negative, and I just took a break, and it really, really helped. But what happened was we lost Brian. And when I logged back onto social media, I had a message from Brian. And I wonder sometimes if I would have responded to that message. Maybe it would have helped a little bit. But the thing that makes me okay with it is that Brian and I always said, I love you. And the last time we did talk, we said that. So I know it was okay, but that was hard. It was hard to lose him and then see I had a message. So, men are taught, only feel a couple of things, happiness and anger, whatever. But I think it's important to tell all your friends, men, women, all your family, how you really feel while you can. And I've done that a lot more. And that's because of Brian. So you make it count. And let them know. I also, when my relationship ended and I started dipping my toes back into the dating pool, I went out on a date with a girl, and it was fine. It was great. We got along great, but it wasn't going to happen romantically. So we didn't see each other for a while, and then she reached out, and Chrissy and I have become really good friends. Really amazing friends. She's one of my closest people in my network, and I love that we had that first date, and I love that she reached back out afterwards, and we started this wonderful friendship. She's one of the best people in my world, and I love that. So, there's things that you can just, again, be open to. It may not be what you think it is when you start something, but it can end up even better. And that's a beautiful thing about life. And then there's my parents, who were always there as well. And, no matter how old you get, you always need your parents. And you'll always feel like a kid around them, especially when you're going through some hard stuff and you're breaking down, you're crying and you're blubbering, but they're always there and they're always going to support you. And then they came out to visit me, and I hadn't, had them come out to visit since I moved to the island. And it was so huge, and I don't know if they know how much it meant to me. It was amazing to have them here, and it was a huge turning point. It was exactly what I needed. I didn't know I needed it as much as I did, but when they left, there's a lot of things that really changed for me and really lifted for me. And they really helped me live again in a better, healthier way. So, keep those networks close. Keep those friends, those true friends, close. And when you can, tell them how you truly feel. Something else that really helped me heal and move forward was nature, just being outside. Vancouver Island is a wonderful place if that's your jam. If that's your thing, this place feeds you, and it does for me. The hikes, the ocean, smelling it, seeing it, hearing it, it's just a wonderful thing, and it really, really gets me inside. So going out and being out there and being in peace and quiet, being able to just breathe, look around, take a moment, appreciate what we have, that was a big thing. And I enjoyed doing hikes on my own. But as I kept progressing, I also needed something else. I was missing something. And that's when Andy came into my life. my wonderful dog. She is a goof. She is stubborn. She is challenging. She pushes my buttons, but she's a cuddle bug, and she's just a wonderful partner. And, it gave me a little bit more purpose. I had to get home for somebody, and a nice routine, up for a morning walk, breakfast, evening walk. We walk a lot, and then a partner on those hikes as well. And it just gave me that focus and responsibility, something else to kind of, live for besides myself. And it was awesome. And then, of course, giving love and getting love in return as well. Something else that happened was I blew my knee out last summer. And that allowed me time to sit and reflect because I wasn't doing a lot. But when I started going out to the street on crutches, just slowly recovering and walking, you'd run into the neighbors. And I'd have Andy struggling away with a leash and crutches. But I engaged in some conversation with some new people and some strangers. And it's awesome because now when I'm out and I see them, you have a conversation. A little walk around the block takes you sometimes 20 minutes longer because you talk to a couple of neighbors. And now when I go out on walks, I like to say hi to people, whether they say hi back or not. But sometimes they do. And sometimes you see how their face lights up or just that little 1 second connection. And it also has given me a little bit more confidence. Not that I was lacking it, but I was hiding it or it kind of went away, of engaging in conversations with complete strangers. Just kind of opening myself up to that. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to start that, and sometimes it's not a good conversation, but sometimes it is, and it's amazing. And that's something I really recommend, is just putting yourself in uncomfortable spots, whether it's a conversation or going out to dinner by yourself or a hike by yourself or adopting a new pet. Putting yourself in those situations where maybe you're a little bit outside of your comfort zone, or maybe you've had that in the past and don't have it anymore and want that back, just go for it. Just do it. It'll open up a whole new world for you. So we've talked about the things that have worked, that I've tried and worked and have pushed me forward. Not everything has worked though. When I tried to go back into the dating pool in a different way, I went to a singles event, plus 35 at the museum. I was excited. I was looking forward to it. A little nervous. I was doing well when it started. They had games set up and they did their preamble and you broke off and you went all on your way and you're kind of set out there, right, on your own. And people were partnering off and I could see these people, having little chats, and I really wasn't getting any of that, and I really wasn't getting into the games or anything, and that's on me. But what was happening was all my insecurities that I've had over time, especially when it comes to dating, just came flooding back for some reason. I got really anxious and really closed off. Am I handsome enough? Am I tall enough? Am I engaging enough? Am I funny enough? And then I just closed off and I couldn't get out of it. I felt stuck and overwhelmed with these insecurities and a little bit anxious, and I was walking around and I wasn't feeling it. And I ended up leaving within the hour. And I don't want to say it was a failure. These are just experiences, right? You don't really fail if you get something out of it in the end. I did leave and I was feeling pretty bad about myself. I was disappointed, a little upset, and then I was wondering why was I dealing with all these old insecurities. But as I was able to reflect on it, I think it was just maybe some nerves or just the wrong environment. And I know up here that I'm good enough and handsome enough and whatever, not for everybody, but that's the thing with life. Not everybody's for everybody. So I was able to refine my confidence again with it after a little bit of a dip. So not a failure, because I grew from it. And I know that it wasn't the right event for me, right? I need something different. So I know now that, okay, that one didn't work out. That's not for me, but maybe this one will be. And I'll try singles events again, just not in that particular form. I'll try something else, or who knows, maybe I'll meet somebody just randomly, which would be amazing. Something else that was also a little bit of a setback when I blew my knee out. Obviously, you're hobbled up. I'm on the couch. Things really got away from me with my diet and drinking as well. I was, eating too many sweets. I was taking easy routes for meals, not enough like good foods. And then, sitting on the couch with a knee up and drinking a bottle of wine, watching the game, or too many beers, watching crime shows, or what have you. And it just got too much, right? And too regular. I was doing it a lot. And I remember, hobbling past the mirror at one point and looking at myself, and I was like, oh man, Warren, you really let things get out of hand. So in December, I quit drinking. And I'm not saying I'm done forever. I just want a break. I don't want it anymore. And it's really been great. I don't really miss it every now and again, but sleeping better, waking up early in the morning, ready to go, and my diet, clean, healthy. I'm eating like basically the same 4 meals over and over again, just to kind of reset everything. And I've been doing this since December, and it's been great. And then just working out, kettlebells. Kettlebells are my new favorite. It's amazing. So getting back on that has really helped me as well. And then of course, it just helps you up here. Obviously your body's in tune and you're getting things going, but it helps you feel rested and sleeping. I'm sleeping for the first time in forever. I have restless leg syndrome horribly. And I've gotten a prescription for that, which is actually a pill they use for Parkinson's. And that's really helped as well. So stacking all these things after some setbacks, allowing those setbacks to happen, but not letting them continue, has really moved me forward in leaps and bounds. And it's also helped me become more creative and do things like this. Time for book recommendations and an album. Book recommendations are coming courtesy Laura, who reached out, weatheringit365@gmail.com, shared her story and just how nature really helped her, and when she went through her rough patch. A couple of books helped her as well. And one is The Body Keeps Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and When the Body Says No by Dr. Gabor Mate. So exploring how unresolved trauma and chronic stress kind of manifest in physical illness. I had some of that as well, and just how you can do the healing through emotional awareness also. So again, please recommend your books. This is a great way to help each other out and build our community out. Albums. This is a classic. Are you ready? As I wear my Nirvana shirt, but it's Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, 1987, their debut album. It's just a wonderful album. There's not a lot more to say than that. My favorite song, one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs is Mr. Brownstone. So there you go, Appetite for Destruction as well. Listen, go out, try things, have experiences, allow yourself to have not great experiences and learn and grow from them. Get uncomfortable in things to get more comfortable. And remember, weathering it can change the forecast.